You are learning how to master money, not be a slave to it. And in the beginning, any small victory is what you feel like you need to keep pressing forward. And some of you, unfortunately, want to do that prematurely with trades. I just need that little affirmation, that little nudge. This is going to work for me. I know he said don't push a button. I know he said don't trade, but I have to. Michael, if you could just feel what it feels like to be inside this skin of mine. I got to wake up every day and do this dumb shit and make no money. I'm in a country that doesn't make any fucking money, and I'm in an impoverished nation. I didn't have a father. I didn't have a mother. You know, I can't get a job with my college degree. I dropped out of college. I couldn't afford it. My mom and dad don't do this for me. Look, listen. All that stuff may be true. I had everything stacked against me. Everything. I had no pedigree that had money before me. I had no advantages where people could help me get into certain things, fall into certain, perfect scenarios for jobs. I didn't have any of those advantages. I didn't have this, where somebody's whipping my ass into shape when I'm doing stupid shit. Get me back on the rails. Keep me focused. Let me tell you something. My feelings would not have been fucking hurt because this is exactly how my grandfather talked to me. And I miss it. I wish I could hear that Navy man whip my ass and get your head in the fucking game. Focus on this. What are you looking at that shit for? This is what you're supposed to be focusing on right now. Yes, sir. I didn't have that when he passed away. He didn't see me do this. You have someone in me that proves that we can do this consistently. I'm teaching you how to do it. I'm giving you a mindset, a way of thinking about it, how to conquer your demons, wrestle with them, pin them, beat their fucking ass. But you have to show up and do everything I tell you to do. And everything I tell you not to do, you need to keep it away. This is one of the hardest things that you as a human being will ever endeavor to do. Because it's so easy to psych yourself out. I'm convinced that 80% of people that fail, they've talked themselves into failure. Either subconsciously or blatantly. Think about what you've done to yourself as a trader. If you've traded with live funds and you've blown that account or accounts, you can go right back to the moment where you knew at that moment, right before you did it, when you still had money in the account, the day that you did like 25, 30 trades, over leveraging, trying to fix something, trying to just do whatever, at some point, it became like you just wanted to end it all because it was too painful. Just click until I don't have any more money left. I don't have the discipline to do it right. I've already convinced myself that I'm never going to do this, so let's just blow the account and be done with it. So subconsciously what? Your mind tells your hand there's something to do. Push the button. But the chart's saying nothing about doing anything at all. You're never going to see a book written like that. But that's the stuff that goes on for real.
Yo, good morning, everybody. A happy Monday, January 26, 2026. Good morning, everybody. Say what's up in the chat. Let me know how you guys are doing. Hope you had a good weekend. Hit the like button for me if you guys would be ever so kind. It would be much appreciated, boys and girls. Good morning. Good morning, Cupboard Dweller, Shakur, Wolf Dubai, Hindsight King, Dario. Good morning, Nika. Fari, good morning, Will. Cookie Beans, good morning. Good morning, Horty Panda. Horty Panda, good to see you, man. Big Head Reef. Jamie, good morning. Jamie, congrats. The Pats made it to another Super Bowl. You lucky son of a gun. Good morning, Luker. Good morning, Santana. Eric. Kooky, Dynamite. Good morning, Melda. Flexi, good morning. Bill, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Monday. And we are already into market open. So without further ado, I suppose we should get to work. All right, guys, we're on the clock. First things first, we got no news in terms of red folder news. We did have pre-market news here, durable goods, month over month. So as far as this week is concerned, I did post a video yesterday kind of just going over my context and expectations for the week. Obviously, the big thing this week is going to be the FOMC Fed rate decision on Wednesday afternoon. So really, as the week goes along, my expectations will get a little bit higher. With today, tomorrow kind of being a little bit more, I don't want to say defensive, but, you know, I don't have as high of expectations. And they could end up being days with, you know, poor delivery and just trying to be really picky and precise. But as far as after that goes, I really like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday after FOMC. We got unemployment claims on Thursday, PPI on Friday. We got Trump speaking tomorrow. Due to speak about the economy in Iowa. The time is tentative, boys. The time is tentative. We'll see. But otherwise, yeah, man, that is that. This is the last full trading week of January. It feels like January's been like 4 months long for some reason. Maybe that's just me. Let me know. But anyway, diving into the charts here. A couple things that I want to kind of note and point out. First of all, let's start off on the weekly, and I think the biggest thing to point out here is just how the previous weekly candle formed and closed. So you can see that last week's previous weekly candle, we came down, we swept these internal weekly lows, and then ended up with a nice bullish closure on the weekly candle. Right, so kind of just how I'm viewing this range, if you will, is that we came down, swept some internal sell side, and then we ended up closing bullish. We closed basically right at the weekly open, so the high end of the new week opening gap from last week. We closed near that, and this week you can see that we've gapped down a little bit. But to me, I'm kind of viewing this more so as like, let's go attack the opposing side of this range. At least on the weekly chart. Previous weekly high is 845. Let me look at the daily. Obviously, still very range bound, you know, regardless. I think that kind of goes without saying, but that's what I'm looking at from like the weekly perspective, at least. And as of right now, we're actually getting the expansion already. This is the new week opening gap from this week. Another decent gap down. Not quite as big as last week, obviously, but nice little gap down nonetheless. And then so far in the overnight trading, we really have kind of just gone up since the open. And we're trading above, obviously, the session highs right now. Right here. So London high, London low, and Asia low kind of stacked up down here. Obviously, it's Monday, so we'll kind of see how the week plays out. As of right now, we're seeing just price go higher here at the open. ES pushing higher right now as well. Previous weekly high on ES is 969, and we're almost there. We're like 4 points off. So it looks like it could be possible that ES maybe runs out this previous weekly high. We have a little SMT, and maybe we see price actually reverse back into this range. But yeah, I'll just mark out the London Asia lows here. So we got those good to go. Otherwise, yeah, everything's showing respect to bullish PD arrays right now. Obviously, sell-off here in London. We've inversed all of this. You can see bullish fair value gaps and inefficiencies supporting price right now. So we could see previous weekly high on NQ as well, even if ES is going to beat it there. What time is it? 35. Okay. All right. So yeah, man, that's that, man. We'll see how this opening range wants to unfold here, but As far as the weekly candle is concerned, I do like the idea of us expanding higher in this week. And, you know, like I said, it could be slower moving today and tomorrow just because there's really no high impact anything going on. But, you know, after this rate decision, we'll see what happens as well. I don't know. I know it's forecasted that they're not going to change it, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut this another 25 basis points on Wednesday, but I guess we'll see how the market wants to respond either way to a no change or to a change. So that'll be that, boys and girls. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? How the heck is everybody doing? How was your guys' weekend? Everybody made it out of the deep freeze alive? Is that what I'm understanding? Everybody made it out of the deep freeze. Nobody's, well, never mind. But good morning, everybody. 66% of the chat is bullish, by the way. Oh, shit. That is a lot. 66% of the chat is bullish. 25% of the chat is bearish. About 9% is expecting some chop. So, all right. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Bella. Bella, good to see you. Happy Monday. Cheers. Bella, are you in Florida right now? I thought I saw that on your. I thought I saw it on your story. In good old Florida, down in the dirty South. You are. Oh man, Bella. Just so you know, it is -9 degrees here. Probably, I'm gonna guess like a 80-degree, maybe a 90-degree difference from Florida. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I live here. I say this every year. And then like summer comes around and I'm like, God, it's so nice here. Who wants to live in Florida? It's so hot. And then this time of year comes around and I'm like, all right, winter, you've had your fun. Now you can F off. You know what I mean? Funny how that works. Brisk 77 degrees. Dude, that is, sheesh. That is brisk. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. All right, well, let's double this up. Got the other time frames up here. We got ES already taking out this previous weekly high at 969. And it's really just been pretty much just straight up really since the weekly open, boys and girls. Right? Opened up here. Obviously, we had the gap down, and then Asia session, we filled in the new week opening gap. London session, we trade back down, trade off of it as support. Now we're just continuing higher. So it's really just been one-sided. Yeah, London low did not take out Asia low on ES either. Did we take it out on YM? Did we? No, we didn't. Yeah, we haven't taken it out on anything. We're just putting in higher highs and higher lows, boys. Fair enough. Watch this 5-minute. Oh, man. Winter. Hey, listen, I can deal with winter for like... I listen, don't get me wrong. I love the 4 seasons. I just wish the 4th season, being winter, would just last just a little bit shorter. You know what I mean? Like throughout December, January, I'm actually cool with it. But by like the end of January, beginning of February, it's like, all right, we get it. We get it. I'm pale. My lips are chapped. The wind hurts my face. And I haven't seen the sun in 3 weeks. Please, for the love of God, make it stop. Yeah. Yeah, maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll be cool. You know, I think what I'll do as soon as I launch a course, it's going to be Brickell Penthouse and a rental. I think that makes the most sense, at least. I think that makes the most sense because they don't buy a course. You don't, like, nobody who buys a course from a guy in the Midwest. It just doesn't happen. Hey, buy a course and you can be like this guy, freezing your ass off. You know, I would do that. I can totally understand the logic there. I wouldn't do that. What time frame and which pair are you looking at? I'm new here, sorry. I'm looking at the indices. I'm looking at NQ mainly, but looking for correlation with ES. So I'm mainly an NQ trader. The chat always tries to convince me to trade gold, but I like to stay true to my convictions. I like to be a loyal fella. You know what I'm saying? NQ already has some trust issues, or maybe it's the other way around. One way or the other, maybe we both got trust issues with each other. It's a toxic relationship, nonetheless. And I don't know if trading gold will make it any better. Yeah, everybody, it sounds like a lot of people traded or switched to the metals. I get it, because we have been so range bound. I mean, big ranges, yes. Like, we're talking like 100, 200 point ranges. But obviously, you know, I think all of us, it's so common to see people complain about price action. And I really hate to be somebody that complains about price action just because it is an excuse at the end of the day. But, you know, it ain't like the complaints aren't valid. You know what I'm saying? It's range bound, it's chop. And that's just, I mean, that's really just a part of trading, is you're going to have good conditions and bad conditions, and how can you navigate both? Because you're going to have to navigate both if you're going to make it in this game. But it's just a test of the patience, really. And you know what? It's a little bit of cope. It is fun, like when price isn't doing exactly what you want it to do. You know, it isn't delivering to your targets with ease and speed. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to complain about price action, because what else am I going to do? You know what I mean? What else am I going to do? It's a great way to pass the time, nonetheless. What's up, Langston? I feel like I haven't seen you in here in a while. Yeah, but you're the abused wife who refuses to leave her deadbeat husband. Dude, I know it. Oh, man. Maybe I'm the husband who's getting abused by his wife. But I know that if I leave, or wow, these are dirty. I know that if I leave or if I divorce her, she's gonna take half my stuff, and then she's gonna move her yoga instructor into my house. And then the kids will have 2 Christmases. You know what I mean? I think that's probably a little bit more fitting. Yeah, NQ seems like the kind. Yeah. To take over half your stuff and then leave you just depressed and lonely. I know. Is there a way to sign a prenup with NQ? You guys ever see that divorce lawyer on TikTok? I feel like I see his videos like once a week, and I always gotta stop and listen to him. I'm like, these are some good stories. I gotta hear these. I don't know what that's about, but we need to find that guy and see if we can figure something out. Break even stop. Got saved by 1 tick. Yeah, I saw we just like in a flash, like wick down, and now we're continuing our move up here. We are gonna have this first 15-minute candle closure, and I would be kind of surprised if we don't take out the previous weekly high at this point. We've taken it out on ES, but feels like NQ should as well. Didn't even have enough juice to quite get back down to this first 5-minute. Well, I guess technically it's not our first presented in regular trading hours yet, but so 1 minute. Do we even have our first presented yet? This little guy? This little fella is our first presented fair value gap on the 1 minute chart. Welcome, little buddy. Don't worry, we don't discriminate about size over here. It's not about the size of the gap, it's how you use it, right? Or whatever they say. Fun times, wild and unpredictable. I don't know, Cupboard Dweller, I don't know if fun is the right word. I don't know if I would use the word fun. But I would use the words wild and unpredictable. That's the craziest part about it, about this weekly range that we're in, is just the fact that obviously, like, it's very tight. However, this is still like if I just go from here to here, like, it's still a 1,200, like 1,000 to 1,200 point range. You know what I mean? So it's like you're still finding like several 100-point moves despite being in the range. Which really in range-bound price action, to me, that just really kind of causes like ginormous stop losses. Oh. What's up, Anthony? Yeah, bro, gold is that hot European that cooks, cleans, doesn't. Thank you is the one that knocked out. Now you cooked it in cheese couch right? Okay, jeez. Oh, NQ. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. Yeah, it's times like these where makes me wish I never switched up on my day one, which was ES. Although ES is obviously range bound as well a little bit, but for some reason ES seems a little bit more respectful than NQ lately. Or is that just me? Just took TP. Did you go long, I'm assuming? Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, so we did get this first 15-minute candle closure. We have SMT with previous weekly high for the moment. I want to see if NQ can run that as well, but if we, I guess it'd be fitting if it didn't. It would not hurt the short thesis if that's what you guys are looking for up here. If we get some displacement down, but if we could hold this and run previous weekly high, I would not mind it. It was just going to kind of come down to like how we close this hourly candle, this 4-hour candle, and then where we're going to be looking beyond, you know, going into 10 o'clock. So, yeah, just waiting for now. But if you went long red at open, I guess there you go. Opening bell longs. $44 points. Yeah, the chat was really bullish today. We're going up still. 68% of the chat is now bullish. I don't know, boys. That tilt might be a little too much. That tilt might be a little too much. What strategy you use for long? I mean, I'm sure it's all this is relatively the same. I mean, like if somebody was just longing this 15-minute bullish fair value gap, right? Like I'm not going to sit here and say like if you're a pre-market trader or, you know, you're willing to trade right at opening bell, like your logic is basically this, right? We've inversed all of this inefficiency here on the 15-minute, and we're respecting bullish, and then this 15-minute gap was left, so opening bell comes in, we manipulate down. So, you know, I would assume if people went long, this is the logic they were most likely using. The timing element is just, you know, it's not my first choice in terms of like high conviction, just because one, we're right at opening bell, basically running this internal high. And I didn't like the fact that we stacked up these lows at Asia, London, you know, so not seeing what's already taken place, could you have seen a sweep here and then us displace here and then come right this? Maybe, right? So, but I would assume this is probably the logic that was used if people were longing. It's always great when it works. It's always great when it works. Are you even a trader or a salesman? What? I don't even sell anything. I do some affiliate marketing, but are you a trader or a salesman? I guess I should take this opportunity to say, hey guys, if you do use code Tyler at Tradeify, you will get the best possible discount. And also, if you use code Tyler for TradeSyncer, 7-day free trial and 10% off if you do decide to purchase a subscription. And also, if you'd rather prefer Replicanto, code Tyler will save you 20% there. Highly recommend. Ding.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Every trade you've ever seen me take? Well, that's not true. Blackout Andy. I will say, in the AM session streams since 2026 has started, I've been getting my ass handed to me, but I've been very open about that. I'm not like trying to like pull anybody under the covers or anything. I've been very open about getting my ass absolutely handed to me in the morning sessions. That's really not a secret. Nor is it really an insult. It just kind of is what it is. But what you've said is objectively not true. I guess, one, I got like 2 years of streams that you could go back and watch, first of all. Second of all, even if we're just going to go with just this year, if you do go to the old IG, all the winning trades that I've taken in the PM session, 2-year fancy, if you come here to my Reels tab here, I've actually recorded and dated every single one. I've got several already from just this year. So, you know, listen, I'm sorry if you come to my stream in the morning trying to signal bot me and now you're all upset because it hasn't been going hot for me. But that's not really my fault. Sounds like a you problem. You know what I mean? The least I can do is I can offer you a discount code. You signal botting son of a bitch. So you're just a has-been, I guess, dude. Fuck. Yeah, bro. I guess my trading dreams of AM session left me when we rolled the calendar over into 2026, man. I'm a PM merchant now. But to say I've lost every single trade you've ever seen me take, I mean, what the fuck kind of cherry-picking bullshit is this? Every single trade? Goodness gracious. That's why I got to start saying stuff like ICT. And I got to be like, yeah, I lose when I lose, I'm losing on purpose to teach you a lesson. I mean, at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, I might as well just start saying some nonsense. Oh, man. Yeah, believe me, though. I hate losing as much as you guys do. Trust me. I would never do it on purpose. As much as I'd love to say that I am doing it on purpose. No, sometimes I just lack intelligence. Sometimes I'm dyslexic with the market. I go short when I should be going long and vice versa. It does happen. It does happen. And that's why we play the game, right? That's why we play the game. That's why we love it. So do I look shorts after previous weekly high? I mean, potentially, yeah. Potentially. Also, yeah, what's this talk I hear about the government shutdown potentially happening again? Please say that is not the case. Genuine question, Tyler. What's the point in posting trades on social media platforms if someone is a profitable trader? What's the point? The only point of this is the reality. Well, let me be careful what I say here. The reality is, it's twofold. One, if you're just trading by yourself and that's it, you have like nothing else, like no sort of like, I don't want to say business because you don't necessarily need a business, but I will say like there is no really fulfillment necessarily that comes from trading, right? Like this is a very individual game. You know, if you make money, you lose money. It's just like nobody really gives a shit other than you, to be honest, because you're the one being affected by winning or losing money in your trading. So there's no like fulfillment there. There is a little bit of fulfillment that does come with like, you know, because not everything's negative. Obviously, when you're on the internet, you're going to get a lot of negative comments, trolls, whatever. I mean, it is what it is, a lot of egos. But what isn't highlighted enough because it's not causing any friction is like the positive messages. There's tons and tons of positive messages that I get, and I'm sure plenty of other people get, where it's like, you know, it does make you like, man, that's really fucking cool. Like someone saying like, oh, you helped them in this way or that way. So there's a little bit of fulfillment aspect to it, but at the same time, nobody is just posting stuff on social media out of the kindness of their heart. And that is just the truth. You can say that about anybody. You could say that about ICT. You could say that about me. You could say that about pretty much anybody. I mean, the only benefit, if you want to look for a benefit, would be to, you know, like nowadays, obviously, affiliate marketing. Other people will sell courses and sell Discords and different things. You know, but to say that they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart with expectation of no sort of added benefit is not accurate, I wouldn't say. Because that's not true. Like, would I stream for free on YouTube and just open myself up to be criticized every time I put a trade on or don't put a trade on for completely free just for pure entertainment? I don't know if I would. Because what would be the point? It would just be like another mental, like, it'd be just another mental hurdle. It wouldn't really help my trading. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's just the honest truth. Like, nobody's really doing things out of the kindness of their heart totally. But obviously, the only way that you're going to, you know, in order to get value, you got to give value. I do think there's a reciprocity with that. You know, you guys wouldn't follow any of my stuff or anyone's stuff if you didn't get value from it. Right? So there's a give and a take with that. But that's just the world that we live in. Doesn't necessarily make it good or bad, but that's the truth. That's like saying though, like, oh, would you still show up to your job if they didn't pay you? Or like when I hear people say like, oh, they love trading. I saw this one fitness influencer. You guys probably have heard the name before, Sam Millsap. I don't know if he's necessarily a fitness influencer anymore or if he's something else, but he's like I don't know, one of those TikTok guys. Dude, I saw the most hilarious video the other day. He was like, oh, I just started trading, but I don't trade for the money. I trade for the fun of it. And I'm just like, what kind of fucking bullshit answer is that? I don't trade for the money. I trade for the fun of it. Bruh, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't trade for the money. I trade for the fun of it. Who would trade? Who would do this if there wasn't, like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying, boy? Like, that's just the dumbest stuff. It's just, like, ridiculous. I don't know what people are trying to do with that. Like, are you trying to virtue signal as if being honest about wanting to make money is a bad thing? That's kind of the fucked up part. The people that sit here and try to virtue signal like wanting to make money is a bad thing, they're just lying. The reality is making more money would solve like 99% of your problems. Not all of them. Not all of them. But you're going to sit here with a straight face and you're going to act like you're going to sit here and act like 99% of your problems wouldn't be solved if you had an extra couple mil in the bank. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. That's what I thought. And that's what I thought. At least we can be honest about it over here. Jeez Louise. Jeez. But yeah, trading for the fun of it and not for the money. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. What's fun about that? Yeah, sweet. Woohoo! Candle going up, candle going down. This is sweet. Oh my gosh. Loads of multi-millionaires have existential issues. What are you saying, Taken in? Guess what, Taken in? They'd probably have issues whether they were broke or rich. That's probably the truth. Those issues are probably going to exist either way. Much rather be rich with those issues, I would say. Did you ever try drop shipping? No. Never tried drop shipping. Once you solve poverty, you're still left with misery of being immortal. Well, here's the thing. I think some people get it twisted. Here's what I believe. I believe that if you're going to become a wealthy person, for the most part, obviously there's some bad apples in anything you could think of, but I think when just the pursuit of becoming wealthy doesn't necessarily just mean like you are a slave to money or like money is your master or anything like that. I just genuinely believe like the law of I believe in the law of compensation in the sense of like if you are not providing value to the marketplace, helping other people. I mean, look at some of the wealthiest people on the planet. Like they've created something or done something that has solved a problem for millions of people, if not billions of people, right? And you can take that at any scale you want, So in order to come into money, I think you have to help a lot of people in some way, shape, or form. If we're talking from like a business sense. Now, trading is unique in the sense of like, obviously, if you're just trading by yourself, I mean, obviously, you're not really helping anybody. If anything, you're probably hurting people because every time you win, someone else loses. Which is true, but everyone's got to start from somewhere. You can't start trading with like no money. So very rich people go on drugs and off themselves all the time. Brother, those are just, yeah, but you hear about those ones. You don't hear about the thousands and thousands of people, like impoverished people that do that every single day. What are you talking about? Like that? Are you using an outlier to try to like define the rule for the majority? Seems like that's what you're doing. Listen, if you want to fight for your limitations, listen, taking it. If you don't want to get wealthy because you're worried about getting on drugs and offing yourself. I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's fine if that's what you're trying to avoid. But you're trading, so I just don't understand. You know what I mean? I just feel like you wouldn't be here at all if you actually felt that way. This is so fun when you are $100 away from first payout to losing your account in a week. Horty Panda, welcome to the villain arc. Mackie just shorted. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little risky right now. I'm obviously we took out previous weekly high. Kind of waiting for some reaction up here, but we're not really getting it. We closed pretty strong on the hourly and 4 hour. Especially if you're looking at ES, right? Here's ES. Pretty decent close above that previous weekly high. So I wouldn't rule out price kind of continuing to grind higher here, but yeah, I just I'm not like gun-ho either way. I could see both, but definitely does feel like we've been pretty lopsided so far. When I'm mega rich, I'm buying baby oil in bulk. Going to throw huge parties. Who's coming? Dibs. I'll be the bouncer. I'll be the bouncer, and at the door, I'm checking everybody's live chat history. The trolls get to go to the VIP room. Not true taking it. I'm not identifying wealth with happiness. That is incorrect, my friend. Who was your favorite streamer before you became a streamer? Favorite streamer before I became a streamer? I don't know. I never watched streamers. I don't know. Before I started streaming, I had a private group. So I was like doing private live trading calls for, I don't know, like 9-10 months before I even started streaming. And I've been streaming for almost 2 years now. So I never watched live streamers. Like nowadays, I'll watch live streamers just, you know, if they're live and I'm just like not live or for whatever reason, or if somebody's live throughout the day and I'm sitting at my computer. Like I get it. It's entertaining, you know, to just listen in and see what people are saying. I find it funny. I find it funny like when I read like other YouTube live chats. I did not sell a course. I did not. I did do a private group though. Yeah. Before I started streaming, I was just like, streaming wasn't really a popular thing. Not like it is now. But then yeah, eventually I decided, I'm like, you know, why don't I just stream for free? And if people want to support using like my affiliate codes or whatever, they can, versus paying for something. But I got to tell you, I definitely understand why. I can see the appeal to both. You know, I can see why people prefer private group over you. Because, dude, you get so many, you know, you get what you pay for, I guess. So when it's free, you get a lot of riffraff that just show up out of the woodwork. And could I do without some of these individuals? Probably, yeah. Scamming with IML. I think I got scammed by IML. I was paying $300 a month for like 2 years. I did my time, pal. Better not say ICT. Oh, wait, what? Better not say ICT, Tyler. What do you mean? Listen, ICT made... I'm pretty sure he said one time that he made way more from selling his mentorship than he ever made from trading. Gotta respect the honesty. What's my take on Bitcoin? I don't know. That depends. That depends how much time we got. What's my take on Bitcoin? I don't know, dude. My mind has been a little bit back and forth, if I'm being honest, on Bitcoin as of late. But it kind of stems mainly from my distrust in our government. And I just don't have the best feeling about it. But aside from that bias, I mean, I've been holding Bitcoin for a while now, so. How cold did it get? I think the coldest it got with like the wind chill or whatever was like -40. Temperature wise, I think it was like negative, like high teens or -20 maybe. Teach us some harmonics. Bro, Dynamite, did you do HFX? That's actually how I started with IML, because I was trading Forex, and then I obviously saw like, oh, make money in minutes, the HFX binary options, whatever. I mean, that's a whole long story, but yeah, that's hilarious looking back. But that's like when you first get started in trading, like you just don't know any better. That's why it's so frustrating when you see like other traders that clearly are doing something that is like obviously, I guess, a scam. It frustrates you, and you try not to be a hater, but it's like, how do you not say anything about some of the shit? Because a new person doesn't know. Like a new person's gonna be like, oh wow, if they're showing me a MetaTrader 4 screenshot, it must be true. To the favorite streamer description, that's when I said you better not say ICT. Oh, well, he never really was a streamer. I think the one time he streamed, and this is what a lot of people give him flack for, and obviously we poke fun at it a little bit, but the one time I saw him stream and he actually put trades on, he took like 3 losses in a row and then said, "See you guys, this is why I don't trade on live stream. They watch my stuff." And then afterward he said he lost on purpose or something. You guys remember that? ICT, if you're watching, I'm not hating, by the way. I'm just, we can all laugh at it. It's all in good fun. I love you. Please put me back in the wheel. Yo, this 5 minute is just not really moving. Yeah, ICT was in my live chat one time, and it was like while I was criticizing him for how the Robbins Cup situation went down and some other things, and all of a sudden I see ICT's name pop up in my chat. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, oh, there goes that. There goes that possible friendship. Son of a gun. Yeah, I might have burned that bridge before it even had a chance to be built. Doesn't that suck? I'm in Wisconsin, Dynamite. Dynamite, I feel like you've been in this stream plenty of times in the past. Where you been, my man? Everyone makes fun of harmonics, but it predicted the Bitcoin top for me last year. I drew it in 2022. I mean, my standard deviations predicted the top of it as well. Literally -1 standard deviations from this range here. This is from when we dropped in 2021 into 23. Just projecting that range out, 1 standard deviations. Pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know. Pretty good. Is that smart money or no? But yeah, I'm not, listen, boys, I'm no strategy maximist. We've had this conversation many a times. I think you could use any strategy and be profitable. It doesn't really matter. The funny part about like harmonics, and what Dynamite was saying about IML, I don't know how many of you guys ever heard of IM Academy or were in it or anything like that, but there was obviously all sorts of different strategies and scanners and whatever. Harmonics was a scanner that basically would like populate trades on all the different Forex pairs. And it was funny because after some time doing it, so like this is one of the ways when I got started trading. Obviously, like all traders kind of go through this phase of like signal botting, strategy jumping. You know, you guys know the drill. You guys know exactly what it looks like for being a new trader. And I was no different. And IML was like a big part of that because there were so many different educators, so many different strategies, you know, different people you could take signals from, all this stuff, right? So yeah, bro, it was so funny. I remember I was using the harmonic scanner one for a while. I'm like, you know what? This is going to be my thing. I'm like, everyone's talking about how great the harmonic scanner is, how great harmonics is. So like when ICT like makes those jokes about like harmonic retail pattern Mickey Mouse horseshit, I just laugh because I can relate to it because I was one of those people doing that. And this scanner would populate these harmonic scans, like the Gartley pattern, the shark pattern, the bat, whatever the fucking different animal name patterns are. And I would take all these trades on the harmonic pattern and or the harmonic scanner. And when they lost, the scanner would delete them like they never happened. The scanner only showed the ones that played out and won, like ongoing. So every time you would like scroll through all of the scanned trades and you're clicking through them, you're just like, oh my God, another winner. Oh my God, another winner. Oh my God, another winner. It was just like endless, right? You're just like, oh my God, does this thing ever lose? So you're sitting there as like somebody that's paying for the service. You're just like, dude, this is easy. I'm just going to take these signals from this fucking scanner. They all win. And then I'm taking like loser. And then like the one scan that I don't take is the winner. And then that's the only one that stays on the list. All the other ones get deleted as soon as stop loss got hit. Oh, bro. That was the beginning of my villain arc. That was the beginning of it all. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh my God, dude. So fun, dude. So fun. You kind of have to go through the school of hard knocks, though, to kind of realize the trading industry is... It can... You know what I mean? You can get fooled pretty quickly if you're not a critical thinker, I guess. But anyway. Fun stuff. The other fun part was, like, there was different educators that would call out, like, leverage trades on crypto. There was so often where, like, my stop loss would get... triggered by like the spread, because the spread, if you guys have ever traded leverage crypto, the spread is insane. My stop loss would get triggered, the spread or whatever would widen, hit me out, and then like 30 minutes later it would rip to my TPs, and the educator would be like, TP1 smashed, TP2 smashed, TP1000 smashed, everybody's banking, and then everybody in the group chat's like, what are you talking about, bro? Everybody hit stop loss. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then they'd all get like banned for being a hater. I'm like, bruh, what kind of fucking bullshit is this? That's why I find it so hilarious when people are like calling a live streamer who's streaming for free like a scammer in any way, shape, or form. I'm like, brother, you have no idea. You have no idea what type of shit's going on out there. It is the Wild West. Seriously. What do I think about Fabio Valentini? I've never heard that name in my life. Sounds Italian, though. I started trading, I would say, in like 20... It was like very late 2019 is when I started learning. But I would say like, just say 2020. right before COVID. It is crazy when you think about it, though. Like, you know, that was the end of, obviously, Trump's first term. And then now, obviously, we're kind of still in the beginning of the second term. And you just hear, like, these other traders that have been trading for, like, let's say 10 years, 20 years. And they talk about just, like, how crazy the markets have been basically around Trump's 2 terms. And I guess, yeah, going from like the end, I don't really know, like from his first term, because that was like when I was obviously first getting started. I don't really have, it's so interesting because by the time I like went through all those hoops of like, you know, signal botting, strategy jumping, whatever. And then into like, all right, I'm really going to learn this shit. I need to figure out exactly what makes sense to me. What strategy do I want to, you know, get good at? And what do I want to stick with? And then I ultimately landed on ICT concepts. And it already kind of had some crossover with what I was already doing with like some supply and demand stuff. So it was pretty easy. The only things that really made it different was really just factoring in elements of time a little bit more precisely, especially when it came to the indices. You know, for Forex, it wasn't, you know, for like Forex, you're not really looking at specific like, you know, macro windows, for an example. But rather you're more so focused on like a full kill zone. So I would say ICT concepts added some more precision, and then it just made the most sense to me. I believe fully in the philosophy that the markets are manipulated, and you can believe that and trade other strategies too. But I just think the language and the terminology was all, you know, kind of in alignment with that thought process, and we're trying to identify the manipulation so we can, you know, obviously trade into it or against it. And that nothing is random. And I think that's probably the biggest argument between like ICT traders and let's say like footprint traders or even like some volume traders. Like they want to argue that an element of the market is random, and sure, there could be, you know, a little bit of randomness from time to time, I guess you could say, but I think by far and large, probably like to the 99th percentile, I would say like no move that the market makes, even if it's going sideways and not doing anything, I don't think there's anything random about it. I think when the market's even going sideways and chopping, that is intentional, and we're obviously gearing up for a big move to take place. Because all we're doing when we're going sideways is just generating liquidity, right? People are forming opinions. We're going to break out to the upside. We're going to break out to the downside, whatever. And meanwhile, people are kind of getting chopped up back and forth. And then we see a bigger liquidation event take place at some point. So, but yeah, I don't think anything is random. So yeah, I landed on ICT concepts, and then that was like middle of, I don't know, maybe like middle of 22 or something. Somewhere in there, I forget the exact moment, but all I know is that was like smack dab in the middle of obviously Biden's presidency, and it's come out now how he was quite literally like never really working. Like he was on vacation like 46% or whatever of the days of his term, which is just wild. So you want to talk about like algorithmic price delivery, you know, it was something. Like thinking back on it, it was really something, man, because it was like the 2022 model, obviously that's 2022, so that's the 2022 model was like, that was his mentorship happening at that time. And there's a reason that got as popular as it did, bro. Like it was, I don't know, there was something about it. If you know, you know, I guess. I don't know where I'm trying to go with that, but it has absolutely been a little bit more of a whirlwind ever since. The crazy political atmosphere and the climate that we've been blessed with. How many discords? Shinobi. That does sound familiar, but I can't picture. I don't know why that sounds familiar. Shinobi? I don't know, Kevin, if I know Shinobi or not. For some reason, it sounds familiar, but I don't know if I'm just wanting to think that it sounds familiar. I can't picture who that is. Honestly, the only live streamer back in those days that I even knew of was Raja Banks. You guys remember him? Some of you guys probably still watch him to this day. Raja Banks was the only streamer that I even knew of. Big guy with the beard. Oh, dude, do I see? Isn't that a guy on TikTok? My IML mentor started selling life insurance after trading didn't work out. Get it how you can, I guess. Well, dude, one of the reasons that I eventually stopped, like when I joined IM, I was like, I just bought into the hype of like, oh yeah, people are actually making money trading. People are learning a skill set, etc. And I really didn't have any problem with like the idea of people building teams and whatever, ranking up, building a business if people were actually getting value as customers. But then I think it just got to a point where it was very obvious that trading, like one, the products and services really weren't working how they were being sold to the public. And the only way you figured that out was by using them for a long time and getting your ass handed to you probably, which I did. And then you kind of start to realize like, oh yeah, like people are joining to learn the skill set of trading, and you're just being taught how to like go recruit other people. And then at that point, it's like, all right, this is pointless. Like, what the fuck are we doing? But can't say I didn't give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? Can't say I didn't give him a shot. I mean, it's not like I learned nothing. I did learn, obviously, basic stuff, and I learned some different strategies. So it's not like it was all for nothing, but definitely a lot of salesmanship, a lot of marketing, a lot of false marketing. Some people say he's a scammer, Raja Banks. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a whole other rabbit hole we could go down in terms of like CFDs. He owns a Forex broker, right? Dominion Markets. There was a whole scandal that came out with one of his buddies, Uncle Ted. So many fucking different rabbit holes, bro. It's crazy. I think it was Uncle Ted. CoffeeZilla, if you guys know the channel CoffeeZilla, if it's still around, he had a great video on this back in the day, like 2022. He made a video about it. But yeah, man, owns a brokerage. For anybody that is familiar with the CFD Forex world at all, it's just, it's a huge red flag. When you understand how you can manipulate so many things on the back end, especially through like MetaTrader, which was completely open source. I mean, anything that's CFD offshore, bro, like all of it can be faked. Which is why I can't like, you know, like TJR with Hero FX. It's just crazy to me. But then again, you think about like all the 15-year-old kids that follow him that literally don't know better. They just don't know. They're literally like me when I first started and just clueless, you know. So I guess I can't really fault them for that. They just don't know any better. $10:30 is incoming here. We're about to get this 5-minute inversion. Potentially. Yeah, if we could start getting some, you know, displacements down, I would be open to looking to maybe go for a short here off the previous weekly high. Even just targeting opening range low. Oh, shit. Yeah, nothing yet. Waiting still. Haven't got this closed. This would be kind of what I'm looking for, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I forget I didn't come from Forex first. Shinobi is probably one of the biggest scammers. He's just a kid, but he's been around since COVID. Wears a turban. Oh, okay. I think I know who it is. I think I've seen him on TikTok. Shinobi Signals. Is that his name, actually? That's funny. Shinobi Signals. Yeah, we're getting a nice rejection on this 15 for now. 15 just closed. Nice rejection. New 30-minute. Also have an MLM pass. Left it behind. Went back to 9 to 5 until profitable trading. Yeah, MLM is crazy. Futures is no better, but at least they tell you shitty rules in advance. Extra small print. Well, no, it's not. Futures is no better. I wouldn't say that. That definitely doesn't apply. The level of manipulation that goes on the back end of a Forex brokerage, CFD, you would go to fucking prison for so fast for fraud in the futures space. There's a reason they're all offshore from like some remote island off of Africa, which is where they're all these CFD brokerages are from, where U.S. jurisdiction can't touch them. Yeah, crypto too. They sold Lavish Lifestyle thing pretty good. I fell into it. I paid the $300 once, then realized it's all BS. Definitely learning lesson though. You're not alone. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Don Vo situation. I never heard too much about that. I didn't even know who Don Vo was until that happened. I forget the details on that one though. What do I think is Zusi? Didn't he change his name to like Frank or something? Or isn't it? Or his name's Frank. He changed his like Twitter name. I don't know. I don't really care for him. I feel like the default answer for me for every trader out there is like, like in the U.S. justice system, the idea is innocent till proven guilty. I just like assume like all traders are somewhat full of it to some extent. But I'm also not really looking to like follow anyone, if that makes sense. But obviously I know that's not the case. If I see someone long enough and if I can't poke any holes in what they're doing, then I obviously have no problem with them. I show traders respect who I think, I get along with. I try to get along with everybody. But if there is people doing shady shit, I do have a problem with that. Yeah. Try to call it out. Last time I did that with TJR, he sent all of his 15-year-old bots to go report my accounts until they got banned. Try to be helpful, you know what I mean? Nah, Tyler, you're capping. Nah, you're capping. TG Capital is TG capping in the chat. Oh my gosh. I haven't felt this much disrespect since Old Man Jenkins left my granny on the floor, hitting the life alert button. TG Cap is TG capping right now. Show me zero respect. You're always mean. Calling me out. Fuck off. Man, oh man. What's up, T-Money? Bro, are you still streaming with Chart Fanatics? I feel like I have not seen you live in some time. And that is my... Hey, listen, if you have been live somewhere, fucking I'm sorry, dude. I've been looking, though. I was looking. I'm trying to... You know what I mean? I'm trying to support. Show up. See what's good. You quit? Why? You know what, TG? I'm about to quit this shit, too. The abuse sometimes that is taken in this chat, man. I don't know if I can handle it anymore. I don't know if I'm cut out for life on the road. Oh, man, this trading stuff is tough. I mean, first and second grade are easy, but social studies, division, this is going to be tough. Gosh. Haven't been live, don't really like it. Just want to focus on my own trading. See, this guy fucking gets it. Holy. Tell you what, boys. It takes a toll. It takes a toll. We did get a nice little break. Obviously, with the holidays, but gosh, man. I think what takes a toll is when, as you guys know, and as I've told you guys, I've just had a hell of a time trying to get back in the flow of things with the AM session since the new year started on these streams. It's like almost every winning trade I've taken has been taken in the PM session, not on stream. And don't worry, you guys make sure to remind me of that every time I do. And yeah, man, it definitely feels just like, gosh. It's just such a drain when you it's such a drain when you lose. But it definitely adds an element to it when you do it multiple times. Live, open to criticism. It's something, man. I don't know. It's something, but we're making it through. We'll make it through. We'll be better for it. You know what I mean? We'll be better for it. You got to take on adversity head on, right? If you come out the other side, you're usually better off for it. Am I right, Chad? Am I right, Chad? Can I get an amen? Come on. Goodness gracious. I've fallen and I can't get up. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Old man Jenkins did a number on Grandma Dorothy. I couldn't believe that DGT had 3 inches he was talking about on that video. That's impressive. Some people got all the luck, you know what I'm saying? Goodness. Here I am in negative 10 degree weather and shrinkage. What'd I do for 3? 3? Talk about a 1 to 3 RR. My goodness. My goodness. Yeah, TG, I get it, dude. I really do. I really do. You can even see, like, if you watch like those videos that I've posted on like X or Instagram of like the PM, some of the winning trades I've taken this year, and you know, I've been trying to do my best when I'm at my PC to record them all, so I can show proof. Because if you don't record it, it didn't happen, right? And the one thing that I've noticed is when I watch back like those trades versus like some of the trades that I take on live, I've even noticed that like my management changes, and I think it's just because I'm calmer. So maybe I gotta work on that when I'm on live stream. I gotta work on being calmer. But there's like it's like a little circus balancing act between trading, chat, trading, chat, right? And you're trying to like obviously think through logic decisions. And every once in a while you get fooled, and the chat never hesitates to let you know when you fucking fucked up. And that doesn't help. You're just like, dude, come on, man. I just took a stop loss, and now you're rubbing it in my face. Thanking me for being your liquidity? Fuck you, man. God. Kicking the old schnutz is what it is. Kicking the old schnutz. How am I supposed to have kids? Kicking the balls on repeat. Well, I was just curious, Tyler. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, damn, I haven't fucking seen him live in a while. I miss hopping on and talking to old man Jay. No, it's tough, but it's, you know, it's part of it. You kind of know what you sign up for when you start streaming or posting your trades on social media in general. So I'm definitely not complaining, but I'm not denying the fact that there are some challenges. Good and bad, you know. accountability is good. Interacting with the chat is my own. I guess that's in my control anyway. So if I'm complaining about it, I should only be complaining to myself about myself. You know what I could do? I could always just, every time I enter a trade or every time I'm looking to put a trade on, I could just close the chat down and not reopen it again until like I'm break even. You know what I mean? And then once I get stop break even, then I turn the chat back off. Oh my God. Because then they come right back out again, don't they? But if you hit the winner trade and everyone's like, WWW, you're the best, bro. Fucking the GOAT, bro. You're just like, thanks, man. Hell yeah. Trade the 1 hour now. Got it. TG, bro. In the mornings, especially. Listen, you'll be happy to hear this. The 1 minute chart in the AM session in 2026 has been my biggest enemy, I think. If I'm being self-critical, so many losses that I've taken in the mornings so far this year, easily avoided if I'm just never looking at the 1 minute chart. PM session's a different story. PM session, I've actually gotten some good setups, some good trades, and some good entries. And I don't know what the reason for that is. Either just more information, more manipulation in the morning or something. I don't know, but definitely been the case. No, Carolina. Carolina, how you been, by the way? Good to see you. I have not taken anything. I am flat on the day. Looking for potential shorts here. Coming in here to the 11 o'clock hour. We've taken out previous weekly high on ESNNQ. And we've really only gone up since we've opened the week. So seeing some confirmation for a lower would be good here. And I would welcome a potential short. Back to, let's say, like opening range low, which is the low from 930. Potentially going as low as London and Asia. I don't know if we'll go quite that. It depends, you know, if we end up just kind of, we definitely traded through a lot of PD rates here, new week opening gap. A lot of inefficiencies would need to fail for us to get down to there, and maybe we don't see that. We might not see these lows be traded back to. But I did say at the beginning of the stream how we're looking at the weekly candle, and kind of the thought process here was that previous week, this is the previous weekly candle, right? So just looking at what last week did, we came down, swept this low out, closed pretty bullish, closed at the high end of that new week opening gap. And to me, it just feels like this weekly candle seeing an overall expansion higher would seem to be more probable to me. So I think overall in a higher time frame, I am still more so bullish and would like to be more so on the bullish side of things for now, going into the week. But doesn't mean you can't find some intraday retracements here after we've taken out some buy side objectives. 1 minute left on this 5 minute close. So this is kind of what I am thinking. Kind of what I'm thinking, boys. And girls. 15-second and 30-second. Clean as fuck, though. Oh, my God, bro. The seconds intervals charts. Bro. Must be a skill issue, because I can't relate. My win rate on the second interval charts has to be like 20% maybe. Maybe like 10 to 15%. It's bad. It's really bad. It's nice because the stops are super tight, but oh my gosh, it has not been pleasant to me. All right, boys. I'm going to try this short. New 15-minute candle just opened up. We did get this 5-minute inversion. Previous weekly high sweep. Let's see if we can get a retracement back into some unfilled inefficiencies from earlier this morning and potentially opening range low. Give this a whirl. Flatter than a pancake, Carolina? Yeah. Well, shit. I'm flat as well up until this trade, so. See if we can keep holding this rejection up here. It's a 15-minute. Or just the fastest stop out you've ever seen. Yeah, macro starts soon. Kind of part of the thinking was that we'd be entering with good timing with the macro, and now we're going to see if it just rips right to stop loss in literally 2 minutes. Mondays, we're back. You know, it's always good though. You want to get the first one out of the way. Get those jitters out for the new week. Right? Alrighty. Oh God. F is for friends who futures together. U is for you and me. N is for NQ, anytime at all down here in the deep blue sea. Was in a short looking good and then you entered? Oh. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, hit the like button, boys. That's the only thing that's going to prevent this trade from stop loss at this point. It's our last chance. Yeah, let's see what happens. Macro is about to begin here. But, yeah, I'd be lying if I said it looked promising at the moment. Immediately reclaim the gap. Oh, boy. I just feel like there's no point in me cutting it at this rate. Like I only got, oops. I'm only saving myself 12, 13 points here for this to potentially hold. This is crazy, bro. New 15-minute candle opens up. No lower wick. And we're soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. Nika, you're in it as well? Oh, boy. Oh, we might get cooked together. Go team. Add to your position and pray. I don't know about that. It'd be so fitting. This is ES right here. It'd be so fitting if like NQ runs this, we SMT the high, and then we hold. Stopped out, boys. And then we hold this. Oh, that would just be so fitting. Let's watch. Stopped out. Minus 500, boys. Yeah. You know, you could argue that there was very little displacement here, but I did like the logic of it. Previous weekly high sweep. I was really just liking this rejection on the 15 that we were getting going into the last 15 minutes of the hour. And then got this 5-minute inverse. No cigar. No market structure shift. That is correct. That is correct. Well, actually, real quick, sorry. Well, hey, at least we didn't have to suffer. Get it over with quick. Let me. Sorry, real quick. Previous weekly high. Oops. Screenshot or it didn't happen. Or whatever the cool kids are saying these days. All right. All right. Well, let's see what we get here in this new hour. I'd be open to playing a similar setup again, depending on how this forms going into 11. But obviously, if this just continues trekking higher, I don't think there will be anything for me to want to touch. I wouldn't want to chase longs up here. Not at this point. You have this 15-minute too. Look at QQQ. Why? What about it? What about it? I mean, it's tracking the same thing as NASDAQ. How much would I risk on a 50K account? It's a loaded question. It all kind of depends. Are you trying to take it slow? PVM depth? Is this an eval or a funded as well? Aggressive XFA. How would I trade a 50K account? Aggressive XFA. Aggressive? Now I feel like I need to ask what you mean by aggressive. No, the most aggressive you can be is obviously a full port. But obviously you're limited on scaling for now until you make some profit on it if it's a new account. So, well, you got 2K drawdown. Aggressive, let's say, if I was a prescribing doctor, I would say like $500 a trade is fairly moderate. I mean, it's still somewhat conservative, but then you give yourself like if you risk about $500 per trade, that means you'd have to lose 4 trades in a row to blow the account. But you don't got to be perfect then either. But really, if you're trying to be aggressive with a XFA, like I feel like the best way to be aggressive with an XFA would be, pyramiding in to winners. That's very important. I think I think that's where a lot of people kind of get pyramiding wrong. It is something that you're only supposed to do when you're in a winning trade. It's something that, you take your trade based off of a certain criteria. It's playing out, it's respecting, it's working towards your target. Once you see new PD arrays form along that trade, then those are ads. And then you let it play. That's probably the best method to go versus kind of putting it all on the line for the initial entry. Which I did get a nice, I actually have a nice example from I don't know if it was last week or the week before. If you go to my Instagram, I have a nice example of me pyramiding into a trade this last, I forget, like I said, it might have been a week or two ago, but I have a nice example actually of doing that in the PM session. Yeah, it is part of my trading that I would like to get more comfortable doing and better at is pyramiding into winners. See if I can find it here. I forget which one it was. It was a long. I think it was this one here. No, that's not that. This one? Yeah, right here. Let's see, which one is this? We can watch it together. I'll show you kind of the thought process. Oops. A little bit of nuance though, because I basically just didn't get. We're in the new hour, by the way. We're still SMTing this high with ES. ES has not taken out this high. So that would be obviously some shit if we just were in the wrong one, unfortunately. This one right here, this is from the 16th, so 10 days ago. See if I can start this over. We'll get the audio in there too. I can't start it over. Fuck, that's loud. All right. No audio. That shit is loud as fuck. I can't start this over. Okay, let's see if I can. Can I zoom in and make this bigger? Whatever. Close enough. I'm gonna wait for it to start over here. But you can see the thought process. We were really expanded in a deep discount. We had taken out a sell side level on ES. We hadn't taken it out on NQ yet. We got this displacement up, nice, change in the state of delivery, bullish fair value gap was left here. I was trying to get 2 contracts on, market executed 1, and then wanted to see if I could get this CISD fill for the second contract. And then it just respects the fair value gap, starts going up here. So I'm like, shit, I'm probably gonna have to pyramid into this. So I waited. I was watching the 5-minute up here. So a new 5-minute, we come down. This was a fair value gap in here. So once we touched that fair value gap and the hourly opening price, I added the second one. But I'm adding to the winner, right? Like I would not have I would never add to if we were like in drawdown going towards stop loss or anything. Even if we SMT'd the low, I wouldn't do that. And then ES takes out this target, SMTing against the trade, so then I closed it. But this would be a good example just from a recent day. So this was literally 11 a.m. macro as well. 11 a.m. macro is when this trade was. Literally right at the new hour. So. But yeah, I guess if you're trying to be aggressive with your XFA, that'd be how I'd recommend it. Trades like that. What do I think about negative risk reward? I would never recommend anything under a 1R. I don't think you need to go for like really high risk reward trades. Obviously the thought process of a high risk reward trade, like, you know, the idea of a 1 to 4, 1 to 5 or more is obviously attractive, but in terms of reality and having a good enough win rate, the reality is for most prop firms now, like with consistency rules and payout caps, there really is no point. You know what I mean? Like what? Like to me, there's not, at least, right? And you're just setting yourself up for a lot more mental capital expenditure when you could just risk a little bit more and take those base hits at like 1 to 1 to 1 to 2. But I definitely would never go negative risk reward, but that's just me. I think at least bare minimum, if you're taking decent setups and you're, you know, obviously using manipulation legs or whatever, and even if you were to just like project those out, even just projecting stuff out, like obviously our bigger targets usually are like a -2 to 2.5, but you should be able to get at least a -1 standard deviation out of a move, which should put you at 1R. Like bare minimum, low hanging fruit target should at least be 1 standard deviation from a manipulation leg. So I would say 1R minimum. And then you just need to win. You just need to win over half your trades to be profitable with that. See, but I do think people forget that. Like, if you get more of like a 1.5 to like a 2R, like you can still lose half your trades or even a little more than half your trades and still like be on the right side of the equity curve. But it kind of depends. I do think though that like for most people, you know, especially if you're going for like 1 to 4s, 1 to 5s, or even more, usually you're partialing. And my mindset's kind of shifted over the last, like, I don't know, couple years probably, that, like, what's the point of partialing at 1 to 2, or even before, to then hold a part of your position to 1 to 4 when you would have made the exact same amount of money just taking the whole thing off at 1 to 2? You know what I mean? Like, you could have just took the whole trade off, been out of it sooner, made the same amount, and went on with your day. Top traders are negative risk reward. Yeah, dude, I'm not saying it can't work. It would not be my cup of tea. Yeah, I'll never say, I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible, man. I would say there's a fair amount of traders too that use like it's a dynamic risk reward, right? Meaning they might have like a hard stop loss set at like, let's say it's a 50-point stop loss. But if they see something that they don't like during the trade, that kind of like invalidates the setup in a way, like a fair value gap getting disrespected or whatever, they might close the trade early. So then a 50-point stop ends up being like cut at like 28 points or 30 points. And that's something that happens a lot too. So that's why like risk reward, just the concept of talking about risk reward is not really much of an argument, just because unless you're like a pure mechanical trader all the time, you use zero discretion ever. It's just you're mechanically trading everything nonstop always. I just don't think that is super realistic for a lot of people, to be honest. And I think you're always making decisions based on whatever information you have at that time. Do something. I mean, shit, man. 11 a.m. macros coming and going, and this thing ain't really moving. It looks like ES is maybe starting to roll over here, but my gosh. You know what I should do? I should wait and see if this does roll over. Throw my executions back on in my short position from earlier. Oh shit, this is E-mini, sorry. I should wait for this to roll over and then get a really funny screenshot, you know? But it'll probably just keep going. Well, dang, man. Yeah, this might be a wait till lunch or PM session kind of a day here. It's just kind of grinding up. I'm in love with a stripper. She grinding, she rolling, she rolling. And she grinding that pole. And I'm in love with a stripper. She stripping, she playing, she playing. I'm not going nowhere, girl. I'm staying, I'm staying. You know what I mean? Oh, T-Pain, man. You guys remember that guy? You guys remember T-Pain? Man. Got the body of a goddess. I see you, girl. She's coming down from the ceiling to the floor. Hey. She know what she doing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She doing that right thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta get her over to my crib and do the night thing, night thing, night thing. Cause I'm in love with a stripper. Well, shit, boys. Not really much happening here, is there? He streams now. Does he really? Is he still in love with a stripper? Was that the guy who urinated on girls? I don't know, man. Maybe. I feel like I'm getting. You guys are catching me up to speed here. I haven't been privy to this. I haven't been privy to this knowledge. B. Chandler says he has the voice of an angel. You have the voice of an angel? I feel like we're going to need to see video proof, B. Chandler. B. Chandler, if you're in the Discord. B. Chan, if you're in the Discord, go ahead and, well, if you're not in the Discord, join it. And if you are in it. No, too late, B. Chandler. You said I have the voice of an angel, meaning like you talking about yourself. So we're going to need a selfie video. And we're going to need you singing in the Discord. General chat. Drop it in there. Let's get some American Idol contestants going here. Step Brothers reference. I felt like I was hovering above my own body watching myself sing. I think for a second, you took on the shape of a unicorn. Listen, man. It's me, Dale. You're good. I know. Listen, man, we got to get cracking on this presentation. Fuck, what a classic. Oh. Well, boys, shoot. Nothing's happening right now. I don't think there's anything to do here until we see something. Got to see some displacement down, or this might just continue grinding up. If it keeps grinding up, then it is what it is. There's just not really much here for me to want to participate in personally. But what I would be looking for, I mean, you guys kind of know what I'm looking for already, but I'll keep my eye out, I should say, going into like lunch macro. I'll take a look at it and see if we've done anything. If not, PM session, potentially looking for, I'm going to be hunting this retracement back down into like this 15-minute gap. To get filled, and then I guess kind of just go from there. But you know, as we close hourly candles here, like we got an hourly gap here now as well. So as this has kind of continued to tick along here, went from a 5-minute gap to a 15-minute gap to a 30-minute gap to an hourly gap, all being left. And that would be something that I would be potentially interested in going into later parts of the day. If we could get, you know, sweep, trade above it and trade back down. And then try to catch something in here. So if I take anything else, I will probably post about it. I'll try to get it recorded as well, as long as I'm here at my PC, which thinking I will be. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated if I do take anything else, though. For now, one short attempt off of the 5-minute inverse previous weekly high sweep, and literally immediately got reclaimed, and stop out was shortly thereafter. So down 500. Down to 500. Otherwise, yeah, man, be back live tomorrow. We got Trump speaking tomorrow. I don't know when this is going to actually happen or not. It's tentative. 10 a.m. consumer confidence. I think this used to be a red folder, right? Used to be a red folder. It's now orange. 10 a.m. And obviously the right decision on Wednesday. Oh, one more thing that I forgot to mention. Silly goose. The other thing that we got going on this week is earnings. We've got on Wednesday, after hours, we got Microsoft and Meta and Tesla earnings. So this is another little caveat for Wednesday. And then Thursday, I think we got something Thursday as well. Yeah, we got Apple Thursday, 4:30 after hours. Oh, boy. So, yeah, earnings, rate decision. Some of you guys are like, you know what? Fuck this, dude. I'm fucking coming back in February. So you guys are like, dude, you know what? Screw this, man. I'm fucking had enough. Oh, my God. I hear you, man. I hear you. Oh, we love it, though, ain't it? Son of a gun. Duck race today. I gotta go grab. Hang on, I gotta go grab some more We'll see if I can do it. We'll see if we do duck race tomorrow, boys and girls. I gotta go grab some more accounts to give away. I could do it now and do it later, but we'll keep you coming back. We'll keep you coming back for one more day. All right. Appreciate you, boys and girls. Hit the like button on your way out if you would not mind. And yeah, man, enjoy your guys' Monday. Just be patient in this price action if you are going to continue to trade it. Definitely going to wait for something kind of obvious to present itself here. I'm going to peek back at key times. I'm going to peek back at like lunch macro and then early AM session. And if there's really nothing happening and we're kind of just grinding up or going sideways, then I probably will remain flat on the rest of the day. All right. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your Monday, everybody. We'll see you back here live tomorrow morning, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace and love, everybody. Enjoy your guys' day.
Our trade sits at his desk, coffee in hand. The NASDAQ chart's on his screen, he's in command. He's a day trader, chasing dollars and dreams. Using ICT concepts, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. From Fibonacci retracements to volume spread analysis, Tyler knows the smart money, he's gaining an advantage. He watches the market like a hawk in the sky. With every tick and every turn, he's catching the high. Running with the smart money, kicking up dust. Tyler trades a day trader you can trust. Dancing with the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire. With the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire.